Hey guys, it's Doug from Off the Trails today. Oh, sorry, I haven't made a video in quite a while. It's been crazy. All the holidays coming upon us and work and everything else, but figured I'd shoot one today in the office here. Um, Today I want to talk about dreams and dreams that come true. Now, I don't know if anybody out there has experienced anything like this, like having a dream and then having it come true. I know some people that it has. Um, well, for me, like it started probably. I want to say around when I was kind of early on, probably early teens or something like that. I started having it. Um, and I'm talking about like dreams, like vivid dreams that you would have, like when you're in the dream state, and they just seem like they're just so vivid and real that when you wake up, you actually thought that you were just there. It just like it actually, when you wake up, it actually takes you a couple of seconds just to kind of get back into the reality of the waking reality, um, because it was so vivid and so real. It was like you were in another dimension or whatever, a dream state. Um, but I want to share a story today. It's kind of I've got a lot of them. Um, Dreams that has come true for me. But this one here is probably one that sticks out the most, and I've told a lot of people about it. And this happened probably around, it was probably back in 1999, 99. And I was currently out of work at the time. I was actually looking for work. And like I said, usually when this stuff happens to me, like when I have dreams that come true and stuff like that, usually happens. I said this in a previous video too. Usually when stuff like this happens, it usually happens when I'm like really stressed out because I'm just the situation I'm in. Like this time, I was needing work, and I was really stressed out, a little bit of money and stuff like that, and I was looking for some work. But anyways, I had this dream that I was at a dealership, like a car dealership, and I can like see an aerial view of the dealership. You know, the huge parking lots. But the weird thing about it is, I saw the parking lots, but there was like no cars in it. The parking lot was just empty. So I see that, and then I see myself inside the building, and they had like these bays, like it was like a long building, and then inside there was like all these different bays all lined up for people that work on cars. You pull your car in, they put them on the hoist things there, and so I mean, one side was all just bays like that, and then the other side was all bays for people who can work on cars. And it was a really big place, it was really long. But anyways, I was up on this balcony in my dream. I was actually up in this balcony out, and I was holding on the rail, and I was actually looking down, and I was seeing all the cars, people like people working on the cars and all the bays and all the cars lined up, and I was looking down over the balcony. This is in my dream. I'm seeing this, and all of a sudden, my sister of mine, and her friend were walking by. I looked down. I waved to her. I said, "Hey, what's going on?" Whatever. She waved back and stuff like that. And so I was holding on this railing, and I was actually looking down, like, down at them. I can see the whole place and people working on cars. My sister walked by, and then that was it. And I woke up out of the dream, and I'm thinking, I can't see myself. The way I felt when I woke up, And I remember the dream. It was so vivid. It was like so real. And I remember waking up and thinking, well, I can't see myself in a garage working on cars because I don't know anything about cars. I just don't. I never got into it. And so, and I'm thinking to myself, why would I be there in a dream where I don't know anything about cars, in a garage like that? So, but it was so real, and I just said to myself, you know what? Kind of blew it off. I just don't see myself in a garage like that, and that was just a weird dream. So I blew it off. Within a couple of months, probably I want to say like three months, I had moved down back to my hometown, and I got a place down there, and I was actually looking for work, but I was staying at a friend's house. So, long story short, I applied at this place, like a reconditioning for like cleaning cars and stuff, and I got the job, and it was a really great job. I was like reconditioning, buffing cars out, stuff like that. But there was one day I was on lunch break, and it was up. My boss's desk was here, and there was like a little couch here, kind of in the like a little lounge area. It was one day. It was around noontime. I was on my break, and I shit you not, I walked over, and there was a railing, and I looked down, and I could see my sister walking towards me, and she's like, "Hey, hi, hi," and I looked up for a minute, and I saw the cars, and for that moment, it was the exact same thing I had dreamt about. That same moment in time where I was actually hanging on the railing and looking down, seeing all the cars, and my sister walking by with her friend, and it's the same. It was like, and I remember seeing it, and I remember doing this, and I sat back, and I just like, and I couldn't get my breath, and I kind of sat back like this, and I sat back on the couch, and everybody thought I was like having a heart attack or something. I'm just like, I couldn't get my breath. I'm just like, it just, everything came back to me, and I'm thinking, holy shit, for that one instant moment in that dream when I was up there dreaming this, it actually happened in reality life, waking life. The same moment that I saw her walking, and it just shocked me. It just freaking shocked me right out. It was just, I could not believe it. I was in total shock. And everybody's like, what's the matter? You okay? You having a heart attack? You need some help? You want to call the doctors or whatever? I said, no, I'm fine. I told them something else. I didn't even tell anybody what happened. And for the whole rest of the day, I just couldn't believe it. I was thinking about it. For that moment when I was in the dream, thinking that I was like working on cars and stuff. I was in the dream, but I was working in cars. So when I woke up, I kind of blew it off because I didn't see myself working on cars. So I just kind of blew it off. It was kind of stupid. But after actually physically being there and actually seeing the same thing I saw in the dream, it was like I wasn't there to work on cars. I was doing reconditioning at that place, but it was at the same exact place. And it was one of those moments where I couldn't believe it. It was the same thing I had the dream. How was this possible? How could I see like into the future? Because that's what it was. I actually had a dream in the future of that place. And it's almost like I thought about this through the years too. I thought about maybe it's just at the moment I was dreaming, I was like stressed out because I didn't have work, and I was stressing out over work, and something like showed me this dream, like everything's gonna be okay. You're gonna find work. This is what it's gonna look like. And then I had the dream of it. And then, like 3 months afterwards, it was the same exact thing. And I've had so many dreams like that where, just like odd stuff where I just didn't see myself doing something, or I couldn't see myself at a certain place. Now, after having this dream, anything's possible, because just because you're in like a dream state and you're seeing kind of weird things, or you're in a different location and it doesn't seem right to you, could mean you're there for something else. It doesn't necessarily you're there because of what it pertains to or what you're seeing. It could be you're there for something else. So I don't. Every time I have a vivid dream like that, I don't toss it away and just like, oh, it's just nonsense or whatever. I actually look into it, and it's always. It's like the dreams you have that are so real, they're so vivid. You swear when you wake up you were just there. Those are the ones I really pay attention to. So I just wanted to throw that out there today. It was just one of those dreams that I had that actually came true for me, and I've had a bunch of them. There was one. I'll just throw a quick one out there. I won't get too use up on time here, but there was one that goes back even further than that. When I actually got married, this pastor that married us, me and my wife, he married us, and then like the night after or something like that, I had a dream about the pastor coming to my house. He knocked on this is in the dream. I was actually dreaming this. He came to my house, he knocked on the door, and I opened the door up, and he's like, hi, we shook hands, and I knew who it was. And he asked me if I wanted to go hiking with him. He wanted to hike up a mountain. And I was like, I don't know. But I actually went with him. And I went hiking with the pastor. And the dream goes on and on and on. And it was probably a couple of weeks after that. And I remember the dream. It didn't go, never, I still remember from today. And this was back in the 90s, whatever. So, a couple of weeks after that, get a knock on the door. I open the door up, it's the pastor. And he's just checking on us and seeing how we're doing for married, because he married us, he was the pastor there or whatever. I said, yeah, things are going great, thanks, and I really appreciate what you did, and this and that, and everything's going good. And he said, well, I come over here to see if you wanted to go for a hike. I almost collapsed. And I just remembered the dream that he actually came here weeks ago, knocking on my door, asking me if I wanted to go for a hike. And without hesitation, I said, yeah, I'll go with you. So I packed a lunch and whatnot, and went up on this mountain with him. And I just, see, in the dream, when I was actually dreaming this, I said, in the dream itself, and I woke up and I remember the dream, I just told myself, I can't picture myself going hiking with a pastor. Here I am, I had long hair, I was into just metal and stuff, I was in a band, I just didn't see myself hanging around with a pastor, or especially going hiking with one. So I just kind of blew it off. I was like, this is nonsense. And then it just happened, like a couple weeks afterwards, he knocked on my door and asked me if I wanted to go hiking. I remember the dream. So I said, yeah, I go with you and stuff like that. I started to remember the dream, and I remember telling the pastor, I told him of the whole dream, of what happened and what I was dreaming about, that he would be there. He came like a couple weeks after I had the dream, and he was telling me, that our higher self or God, always gives us clues to, and just stuff like that, and he's just going on and on about this and that, and it's just really interesting that it just really makes you wonder why we're actually here, why we're all here on this earth, and why we go through this dream state at night and just getting like we're just getting like all this information like from like I get like future stuff. I never get like past stuff. It's always like future stuff that's like future events that it's like almost like they already happened. Like everything in my whole life has already happened. But I'm experiencing it. It's like, okay, this is my reality, this is my future. Everything in the future I've already been through. But it's me here again experiencing all that. It's kind of in a way. It's kind of a weird kind of I don't know how to describe it, but it's just really bizarre stuff, but it's really cool stuff too. Freaky stuff, because when you find out that when you had the dream the other night at a place that, you know, talking to people or you're in a different area and stuff like that, and you wake up and it was so vivid, and then like a couple weeks later you're at that moment in time where you were actually dreaming there, and you just see it and you're just like, oh, you just take it, it's like a deja vu. They just hit you. It's like, whoa, I was just here weeks ago. So it was just very strange stuff, and I wanted to put it out there for anybody that's actually had something like that, like dreams that have come true like that. And I just want to know anybody out there if anybody's had dreams like that, like I just described to you, like you have a vivid dream of something, and then a couple of weeks or a couple of months afterwards, you go through that whole thing. It's just really weird stuff, but it's really cool too. But I wanted to share that today and just make a video on it and just see if anybody out there, because I've been thinking about it a lot, and I had a weird dream and vivid last night. It was just so real and vivid that I had like my own place, and I had there was this pool, and they were building like, you know, like a house around it, like an inside pool, and they were doing like the tile work and stuff like that, and it was just beautiful. It was like the pool in the middle, and they was just building this like house around it, and it was just so real. So when I have a dream like that, I don't pass it off. Now it's just nonsense. I mean, now it's like it could be a possibility that can actually come true, and I'm holding it to that, because I remember the video of the dream. It was just so real and vivid. So I don't throw it away and just think of it as nonsense, because you never know. A couple of weeks or a couple of months, it could actually come true, and I can remember it. I hope it does, because it was awesome. It was a really cool pool area that I owned. So hopefully it comes true. That'd be awesome. But all right, guys, I'm gonna wrap up. Hopefully I can make some more videos and keep throwing them out there. Obviously, I'm not out on the trails today. It's hunting season, and I just stay away from them because there's a lot of maniacs out there with guns that shouldn't even have guns. So I just stay away from it until hunting season's over. I'm back out there, and I'll make some more videos in the winter. Looking forward to it, and doing a lot of snowshoeing, and hopefully get some skiing in, and I'll make some really cool videos. So I'll see you in the next one.